If you back them, you're celebrating. Football season may be over, but the action never stops.
Are you ready for some baseball?
At SportsGrid, we're always in the game. We bring you 24/7 betting insights, expert picks, and real-time analysis. Next big play is already in motion. Are you ready? It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this once?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on Sports.
Let's roll. This is SportsRage. I am Gabriel Morency. The pitch, the players, the hustlers, the people that busted them, and everybody else in between. Let's do this thing. The Twisted Tuesday has begun. You know how we roll on the Twisted Tuesday, although we're jam-packed tonight, even more so usual. We're actually jam-packed as far as the action is concerned tonight. A lot of games going on. We got a lot of picks for you, so let's get right down to business. The Los Angeles Dodgers, of course, have not lost a baseball game yet. You can make a strong argument that this is the toughest pitcher that they faced this year in Chris Sale, right? I mean, they faced Imanaga in the opening game in Tokyo. They faced a couple of good pitchers, but this is a step up. The Atlanta Braves offense really is struggling. This is as low as you're ever going to get the Dodgers, though. Anytime you get Dodgers, you're talking Dodgers minus 130 right now. No Freddie Freeman this evening. And Freddie Freeman's actually one of the few Dodgers that's hit Chris Sale well over the years. Dustin May is pitching for the Dodgers. So Dustin May hasn't pitched in forever. I see a total right now. It's 7.5 in this game. May versus Sale. Dodgers minus 130. Braves plus 110. We're not going to get in front of the Dodgers at 6-0 right now. Although, right, they're not going 162-0, right? So a loss is almost due for Los Angeles. But is this a spot tonight? Even as good as Chris Sale is? We're going to take the Los Angeles Dodgers minus 130. We're going to go under the 7.5. I don't think there's going to be a ton of runs in this game. And the Dodgers are one of the teams, and we have been murdering the player props tonight. So I'm almost scared going into the late night games here tonight. But the Dodgers, we just play the same players all the time. And we usually do pretty well with it. Right? So it's like Aaron Judge without a torpedo bat. We're doing fine without it, but we'll get to the torpedo bats later. Mookie Betts over 1.5 total bases. You're getting plus money, man. You can't go wrong. Plus 115, Mookie Betts plus money. Tommy Edmonds just a stud, and they haven't adjusted yet. They have him at 0.5, but it's up to minus 190 right now. That's a little bit high. I'm gonna stay away from this. Teoscar Hernandez is smoking hot to start this year, and his total base prop, guys, is 0.5. He's got to get a single. It's minus 155 to the over. So let's go with Mookie Betts plus 145, over 1.5 total bases. Let's go with Teoscar Hernandez over 0.5 total bases, minus 155. I don't know what the hell they're doing here with Shohei Ohtani. Normally, Ohtani's 1.5. Ohtani has been struggling a little bit the last couple of days. Not struggling, but he's not killing it, right? Ohtani's always 1.5. They have him at 0.5, minus 200 right now. They're trying to scare us off. So those are my picks for the Dodger game. Dodgers to win, under 7.5. Mookie Betts over 1.5 total bases. Teoscar Hernandez over 1.5 total bases. And I was going to play Ohtani over 1.5. Now it's 0.5 minus 200. We'll put it in the same game parlay, or we'll come up with something. But those are our picks for that game. We talked a lot about what the totals are going to be in Sacramento. All right, it's a launching pad. Last night it was a launching pad, despite the fact we had like 35-mile-an-hour winds blowing in. The wind sort of swirls around there, so I don't know if it's blowing in or out. But like last night, we all knew about the total in this stadium. Yet they made it, they made it 8.5 last night. It was basically over the number in the second inning of the game. It's a low number again tonight, once again in Sacramento. And Sacramento's getting shredded pretty hard for the way things went last night. But it's 8.5 right now. Athletics and Cubs. They're just getting started here. I think the game is going to go over the number. Did I bet 8.5? I thought I got an 8. Yeah, I did get an 8. The in game right now is 8.5. So I got an 8 in this game. I went over to number 8. We're not playing a side here. I wouldn't be surprised if the Cubs murder them again, just if they got off to a slow start. And I do have an over season win total bet on the Athletics. So I wouldn't mind if they're winning games. The Cubs just got a runner on first base right now as the game just got started. Like I said, we got a ton of late night action going on here this evening. NHL hockey. McKinnis and Cam Stewart will step up in a couple of minutes. We got a bunch of games to break down, including what is a big-time hockey game. Like, you could argue the game of the night tonight. It's not even Edmonton and Las Vegas. It's Winnipeg and Los Angeles. That game's coming up a little bit later on. You got the Oilers and the Knights playing Las Vegas. Gets back home after a successful road trip. The Edmonton Oilers battling. They're playing pretty hard without Connor McDavid. Leon Draisaitl continues to get it done. Got his 50th goal the other night. I don't love the game. Because I will say the Vegas Golden Knights are one of these teams. I don't like betting their games, right? You know what I mean? It's just, I take them to win, they lose. I take them to lose, they win. It's like one of those type of teams with me, the Vegas Golden Knights. I'm pretty good with Oiler games, but, I think the Knights are the play tonight, but it'll be a close game, right? I expect this game to be a close game this evening. I don't love it. Sharks and Ducks, let's go over 1.5 for the first period of play. That's my interest level in this hockey game. Over 1.5 in the first period of play. And I got so many damn bets in right now. I got to make sure that I'm not even sure if I got this bet in. All right, I got the Dodgers in. I got to get those Dodger props in. Man, these games come fast and furious at us. We haven't even gotten to the damn we haven't even gotten to the basketball yet. And these games have been crazy. You want March Madness. The NIT, the crown of the court, all this stuff. It's all been super close. All right, so total bases. Let's get this out of the way. Mookie Betts, Teoscar Hernandez, and that's it. I'm not going to play Ohtani at minus 200. It's just a little bit over the top. We like the under in this baseball game. Under 7.5, Dodgers and Braves. Over in the Athletics and the Cubs game that just gotten started in Sacramento. Tulane is playing. We have Tulane taking on USC in college basketball. Two of Tulane's top players, their two top scorers, have transferred. The transfer portal has hit them. All right, so hold on. I got to get this Dodger under it now. God, man, we got a lot of bets here. We've really fired away over the last couple of days, and in fact, you know what? I didn't bring this up ever. I got the message. I got the message on Sunday night, actually, at the end of the end of a crazy day of betting on Sunday, and we normally don't get. I bet a lot, but we don't get these type of messages. But I got the old. Your activity has been especially high as of late, and you've had a lot of deposits, and is everything, we just, they're doing their own little, they got to check in with you type of deal. I'm like, yeah, click, I'm fine. Click. I'm thinking, you know what, baseball season just started. I got a bunch of, I got UFL football games going on. You got NHL. I can't even keep up with everything that's going on right now. Hell, the Masters is next week too, isn't it? UFL football, we're going to speak UFL football a little bit with Rick Saratella tonight. NFL draft props. We've got NFL draft props hot off the presses for you as well. So as I was saying, Tulane are without their top two scorers. They bolted in the transfer portal. That, if you're wondering why would USC be 8.5-point favorites in this game? That's why they're 8.5-point favorites in this game. We posted the pick earlier on Twitter X, in which we said, let's just go with the money line parlay in this, although we should have just laid the damn points with Villanova. We're on Villanova, money line parlay with the USC Trojans, minus 110. That's what it came out to. Villanova are absolutely murdering Colorado right now. 77-48 Nova. Well, if you take a look at the field of this tournament, actually, the Crown, I think that I wouldn't be surprised if Villanova cut down the nets actually here in this thing. Right? If you look at the teams, they might be the best team. We got Paul Bovey in the house on a Tuesday instead of a Wednesday tonight. We got Mo Khan, Rick Saratella, Andrew McKinnis, Cam Stewart. We're jam-packed. It's a Twisted Tuesday. Let's roll.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this once? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Did you know sportsbooks tend to draw up tighter bet lines for events that get even more bettors, like championship games or major matchups? My tip, try betting on less popular sports. You might have a better shot at beating those odds. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Pages. Let's get lucky.
Let's roll. This is SportsRage. I am Morency. We got a really busy Tuesday night tonight. Across the board, a little bit of something for everybody. Like I said, it's really a great time of the year to be a sports fan. Whatever sport you like to bet on, you've got it going on right now. College basketball, you don't have to wait for the Final Four. You got NIT games. You've got CBI games. We got it all going on. NBA basketball, the T-Wolves and Nuggets just tipped off. The Nuggets are off to a quick start in Denver. They're up 14-2 right now. They're laying 4.5 only. Total 227.5. Major League Baseball, of course, is back. And the Dodgers and the Braves have just started. Dustin May on the hill for the first time in forever for the Los Angeles Dodgers. If you're just joining us, we gave out we're on the Los Angeles Dodgers tonight, obviously. Only minus 130 for the Dodgers, and May gets a strikeout in his first batter that he sees. Nice start for Dusty. All right, so Dodgers rolling minus 130. It's already up to 150 right now. We went under 7.5 in the Dodger game. I can tell you right now, we're on top of everything. The Las Vegas Golden Knights have just scored early. We're like 2 minutes in, about 4 minutes in, actually, 15:26 mark. Vegas just scored. Roy, as Don Cherry would say, Patty Roy. So we got a goal here early in this hockey game. We said we're betting the over tonight, over 8 in the Cubs and the Athletics, guys. And the Cubs have already put a 3 spot up in the first inning. We'll see if the Athletics can respond. You're getting plus 265 now with Sacramento, plus 2.5 on the run line. Seattle are down 2-0 to the Detroit Tigers. In-game total 7.5. I'm going to jump in on the under 7.5 in this game. There's a smorgasbord going on. Villanova in action with Colorado. Villanova up 77-53 right now. We gave it the over 1.5 in the first period of the Sharks and the Ducks. 1-0 Ducks early. Although buyer beware tonight. We're 6-0 so far in the NHL tonight. Clean sweep in the early games. We'll see if we can keep this going tonight. We're on the Vegas Golden Knights to beat Edmonton. Got over 1.5 in the Sharks and the Ducks. And we'll play the under 5.5 in the Kings and the Jets. No side for me, just the under. All right, we got McInnes ready to step up, and then we got Cam Stewart in the house. Cam, lot of action going on here this evening. What did you do with the Braves and the Dodgers game?
Yeah, we're on the same in hockey. This is probably going to be dumb, but this is the first time I bet against the Dodgers since that Cubs debacle in the Orient. I took a shot with the Braves tonight with Chris Sale on the hill. But the Dodgers are so damn good. You're right, Gabe, and I understand it. They're your team, but you're not going to see the Dodgers at that price. I just think Atlanta with Chris Sale can get it done tonight. Hockey, we're on the same stuff. I like the under 5.5 in Winnipeg, and I'll take the Jets plus 105. We're on the same games. Vegas, Ducks in regulation as well, part of a parlay piece. And I have Chattanooga plus 2.5 and money line in the other basketball tournament, and I took a piece of USC in parlays.
Chattanooga and Loyola Chicago. I love the over of this game. It was 146. In-game total is currently 157.5 right now. We're on Loyola Chicago, actually, in this game on the money line. Loyola Chicago, they're leading 29-25 right now with 6:58 left in the first half. So, like I said, there's a ton of stuff going on. You would figure that the Oilers and the Vegas Golden Knights would be a showcase special of the night, but the Jets and the Kings is an even better game coming up. Let's bring in Andrew McInnes, who no doubt enjoyed the Montreal Canadiens beating the Florida Panthers for the 4th time in a row this year. McInnes, I talked about it last night. Not that it was going to, if anything, I thought that the Panthers would be the ones that would be more sort of angry tonight. You know, Mikula fired the puck at the Habs to end the game the other night. Real beer league, bush league stuff. Little bit of a brouhaha, but I took the Canadiens tonight out of sheer principle of the actual price. And a lot of times when one team beats a team, they'll beat them again, like when you get these little streaks going. So I wasn't surprised, but it was a late goal for the Canadiens. But massive 2 points for the Habs tonight, McInnes.
Yeah, is it ever. Great to be here with you guys as always. And as we're talking live on this show for the first time ever, the Calder Trophy has already been given out to Lane Hudson. We don't even have to go to the awards. He's won the award. He's getting the Rookie of the Year. This guy is unbelievable. 3 goals for the Habs, 3 assists for Lane Hudson, and he just passed Chelios' record for most points of Montreal rookie defenseman. Unbelievable stuff there from this Habs team. And, you know, guys, the sport of hockey, it's really interesting because you can win games you probably deserve to lose, and you can lose games you probably deserve to win. People don't want to hear that stuff very often, but I always listen to the press conferences afterwards, and St. Louis is usually pretty honest. And he actually said in that one, I promise you guys, if we would have lost this game and I would be talking to you right now, I would have been telling you guys, I like how we played that game. So I'm happy we got rewarded. I mean, I don't like the fact they had to come from behind again, but this Habs team, I'm curious, guys, why can they only show up against the good teams though and lose against Philly and the Islanders? It's kind of, aren't good teams supposed to do that? Like, I don't know if they're really there yet to be able to do that, but right now, you look at strength of schedule for teams down the rest of the season, right? Everyone always talks about strength of schedule. For this team, there's no such thing as strength of schedule. It's almost like they'd rather play the higher level teams.
Yeah, you've got to always throw that stuff out at this time of the year in any sport. You see it in baseball all the time, late in September. Oh, this team only has to go here and play Colorado, and then Colorado scores 16 runs, right? Like, you can never take anything for granted. But you're right. That's hockey, and I've done well. This year has probably been one of my better years in the National Hockey League. Like, I'm seeing things very, very clearly. Same point in time, it's weird. Like, good example, I'm 6-0 tonight so far in the NHL. Yet I bet more money on a crown of the basketball tournament. Like, I have more money on the women's basketball games than I do on some of these hockey games because of something you just said, McInnes. And dude, like you saw the game. The Montreal Canadiens didn't have a shot on goal for 8 minutes before Suzuki scored. Like, they nearly ended the game without a shot on goal for the last 10 minutes of the game. And they won the hockey game. Right? Like, that's the thing, man. Who was it the other day? They outshot a team 48-16 and they lost.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid. You studied the stats. You had the perfect bracket until your upsets turned into regrets. SportsGrid rides the highs and lows of every buzzer beater, bracket buster, and Cinderella story.
The Big Ten Freshman of the Year!
Our team brings you sharp insights, real-time reactions, and all the madness. Only on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun. I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this once? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
If you look at how the men and women did it, the men, the portal opened up the day after the round of 32. Same thing with the women. Men on Monday, women on Tuesday. Why can't they just do the day after the national championship game when the season ends, next season begins, then you open up the portal. All teams have completed play. All bets are off.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
All right, just straight fire. We gave you over 1.5 in the first period of the Sharks and Ducks. It's 2-1 Ducks right now with 11 minutes left in the first period of play. They've scored 3 goals in the first 9 minutes of the game. In-game total is currently 8.5 right now. The St. Louis Blues have been on a torrid pace. 9-game win streak looks like it might be coming to an end. They've got 3.5 minutes left in this game. I'm actually on the Blues, unfortunately, of course. Although I'm smoked, this could be my first loss of the night, actually. What do you think, McInnes? Can the Blues come back right now? Plus 600. Any late magic on the Blues here?
I hope they don't, because I'm on the Wings. So I hope they don't. This was one of those
tonight.
Yeah, it was one of those weird spots. I just kind of looked at the Blues and all the wins that they've had recently and kind of the spot it set up for the Red Wings. And I was like, man, I just like this price here for them. Because you know what, guys? Gabe, you just talked about it. You referenced the Colorado Rockies in the previous segment, right? Teams that kind of just will play spoiler down the stretch. I think the three of us can probably agree, barring any miracle, this team is out of the playoffs, right? The Habs just won tonight. The Jackets won tonight. The Rangers are still in it. The Red Wings are out. So watch them just make things interesting and start catching life again once they're officially out, right? So that's why I took them. But I'm on the LA Kings tonight on the money line. That's my main play of the day. So I had the under in the Habs game, and I didn't want to take the side because it was enough cheering as a fan as far as that's concerned. But one thing you mentioned, Gabe, about the whole bounce back thing, we've seen now 3 times in the last, I think, 3 or 4 days, teams playing these home and homes, or in Seattle, I believe, they played 2 games against the same team back-to-back in their own barn. And I'll tell you, one new thing I'm starting to do, I used to look for this rapid revenge stuff. I have no problem backing the same team 2 nights in a row. And I think we've seen it hit 2 of the last 3 times. It's like people always say, well, there's no way this team can beat this team 3 times in a row or 2 times in a row. It's like, why can't they? Why can't they do that?
I agree with you. It's a topic that comes up a lot at this time of the year in college basketball coming into March Madness, right, or the conference tournaments, right? Well, they beat them twice. This is the 3rd time. Hard to beat a team 3 times. Dude, the team that wins the first 2 times wins the 3rd time like 82% of the time because they're better, like for the most part, right? Tennessee was different. Tennessee actually got revenge on Kentucky and then basically were terrible in the next game after. But I do agree with you. I mean, nothing's set in stone, but you see it in the NBA as well now. They're cheap, and they do like 2 games in a row with teams, and there's a lot of sweeps. Same thing. People want to automatically, bet the split in a doubleheader in baseball. I don't fully buy into it. But as far as the LA Kings are concerned, they were in a bad mood the other night. So they lose to Colorado 4-0 on the road. They go back home. They never lose at home, this team. They'd only lost 3 times all year in regulation. They lose to the Toronto Maple Leafs on Saturday night, 3-1. They respond with a thrashing over the San Jose Sharks, who they always murder. Now they're taking on, arguably the best team in the National Hockey League, who people are always down on, but all the Jets do is win games. Cam, what's your pick for the Kings and the Jets?
I don't want to go against McInnes. Good instincts there with the Red Wings, McInnes, but I'm taking the Jets. You're going to give me the Jets at plus 105. I'll take it. I like the under. If we get an early goal in this game and it goes to 6.5, I'll be hitting that button again. I can tell you that. So, yeah, Coach Morency, he's got me and McInnes in check right now, right? McInnes, he's telling us to be better. We're going to be better. We're going to win more bets tonight. Let's get it done. Under 5.5, and give me the damn Winnipeg Jets. Let's go, Jets.
I'm like Bobby Knight.
Yeah, you're like, hey,
Michael Jordan.
Straighten up. Cam, look at the camera. What are you doing there, McInnes? Get centered.
There was the Bobby Knight video out there the other day that was, I knew the story already, but it was funny as hell. There was like Team USA, and Bobby Knight was the coach. Michael Jordan had points, 11 rebounds, and like 10 assists at the half, in the first half. And the USA was killing the other team. And Bobby Knight said, man, he goes, I got to get mad about something at the half. But he goes, I really didn't have anything to get mad about. Like, we were winning so much. And he goes, so I went into the room, and he goes, I looked at Jordan, and I said, Jordan, all you're effing doing is scoring, passing, and rebounding. He goes, it sounds to me like you're pretty selfish. He goes, why don't you set an F in someone for once in your life? and Jordan's a kid, too, at the time. And Jordan looked up at him, and he goes, Coach, I saw you do an interview the other day in which you said I was the fastest player you've ever seen on the court. And he goes, yeah, so? He goes, I'm setting these screens so fast, you don't even effing see them. And then he just sort of grinned at Bobby Knight. And Bobby Knight said, yeah, I knew this kid was going to be a great one. And he was only like 19 when that happened, 20 or whatever.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid. You studied the stats. You had the perfect bracket until your upsets turned into regrets. SportsGrid rides the highs and lows of every buzzer beater, bracket buster, and Cinderella story.
The Big Ten Freshman of the Year!
Our team brings you sharp insights, real-time reactions, and all the madness. Only on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this once? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
If you look at how the men and women did it, the men, the portal opened up the day after the round of 32. Same thing with the women. Men on Monday, women on Tuesday. Why can't they just do the day after the national championship game when the season ends, next season begins, then you open up the portal. All teams have completed play. All bets are off.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I'm Morency. Cam's getting leaf fever every year at this time of the year.
No.
Playoffs are coming. We're talking about the Canadians. You got leaf fever. You think they're going to win the Stanley Cup? You think they're going to win the Stanley Cup?
No, I didn't say they're going to win the Stanley Cup. I said
gonna
this
get to the
year
cup?
is. Would you guys not agree?
Well, you better be all in on them. They're like the
Eastern
Bills.
Conference
You just got to
is
say,
going.
yeah.
Would you, McInnes? Are you with me? Is this the year they could actually do it? They can actually go deep. You got to win the first round first, though. Like, don't worry, Morency. I'm not too excited if they lose in the first round.
I don't believe in them.
I know you don't, but that's fine. Not a lot of
want
people
to.
do.
I'm not anti-Leaf. Like, I've bet on them. It's been a couple of years. Dude, it's been every year. So every once in a while, I do buy in. I'm like, oh, I'm all in. All right, I'll ask you, McInnes. Who do you buy into more? The Winnipeg Jets or the Toronto Maple Leafs? And I know the caveat is the Western Conference is harder, but the Eastern Conference isn't easy either. So let's be real. I mean, you got to play Tampa, Florida, whatever. Like, Carolina, don't dismiss them. Right? Washington. It's not easy for anybody. Who do you think has a better chance? Like, and the Jets never do it either. Right? So, like, who do you buy into more, the Jets or the Leafs?
You're talking about going all the way, right?
Or go farther.
Let's say to make it to the Stanley Cup. Make it to the Stanley Cup.
I'll take the Eastern Final.
You sound like you're on Law and Order here right now. You're the like, we're like,
I would say the Leafs. If I had to pick one or the other,
the Leafs?
I would pick the Leafs. But
I don't. You know what my deal with the Leafs is, guys? The goaltending's an issue. You don't have a number one goalie. All right, you can filter around. You don't have a number one goalie.
Is good. I think Stolarz is good.
Yeah, he's okay.
He's very good. He's very good.
Let's see in the playoffs. So I'm just saying, for me, you don't have a number one goalie. And this is the other thing. I don't believe in Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner. They're both great players. I don't know if it's a together thing. Like, I don't think they have the next level, bro, to win 3 playoff series in a row. Like, they have a hell of a hard time winning playoff series.
The point that I'm only going to defend this. Matthew Nyes is one of the more underrated players in the league, and he shows up all the time, and he's getting better. He's not a kid anymore. Nylander's got speed that'll blow you away, and he's playing like an absolute animal.
You need Lawton to score up. You need the guys. No, it's all about the playoffs. It's all about the playoffs.
Has been great, Gabe. We've talked about this. He's actually having a great year of resurgence. So
you got to do it in the playoffs. You got to do it in the playoffs.
Yeah, the biggest thing that makes me laugh.
All I know is
they're pretty close.
Now or never.
The biggest thing that makes me laugh, and I'm just going to say this, is that everybody after every single season, like, remember last year the mistake from Samsonov in the finals because Woll was injured, the Boston Bruins, it was a miscommunication and Pasternak scored. But guys, if you look at every single game that the Maple Leafs lost in that first round, against the Boston Bruins, ask yourself, how many goals did they score? Like what Gabe was just saying is kind of what I've been talking about a lot to my Leaf buddies is, well, they're talking about getting this defenseman at the deadline, that defenseman at the deadline, this goalie, that goalie, when that hasn't even been the problem at all. The problem has been
it's their front end guys. You're right, the star players.
And you know what? This is the story that I hear. Well, that series against the Habs, Corey Perry kicked Tavares in the head. Oh, last year, Nylander had a migraine. Well, if you're so good, one player being out shouldn't take you from scoring 3.5 goals a game to 1 goal a game. That's my case.
I agree. No, it's a good case.
The East is tough to pick a team to come out of. All right, so who's your team, if you had to say right now, McKinnis, to come out of the East?
Well, look, I have 2 bets made right now, Tampa Bay to win the Cup and Colorado to win the Cup. I feel like I got to ride those 2 teams out. But I think at this point right now, people are sleeping on the Metropolitan Division. And as much as I want my Montreal Canadiens to make the playoffs, play the Capitals, pull off the upset.
I don't even know who's in what division, bro. Metro and what else you got? What other? I don't even know the division names. Like what the hell? I'm just saying.
Can we just go east and west?
The Metro division. I'm like, I don't know.
Bring back the Norris, the Smythe, the Patrick.
Sorry, McKinnis, go on. Exactly.
You're right. Like seriously.
Give me the Adams division, all right?
I love the Adams division. Yeah, that was a nice division.
I think that I'm just saying I feel like there's not being enough credit given towards the teams like the Hurricanes because of the whole Rantanen situation. The Capitals.
Oh, the NASCAR
all
division.
All year long, people are saying this team
division.
is going to slow down. This team can't maintain it. And you know what's the biggest thing, Gabe? And Ovechkin said, oh, I don't want my chase for Gretzky's record to be a distraction. But I'll tell you what it has been a distraction from, how deep this team is. With Connor McMichael and Alexi Protas and all these players that have been so good all year, and Strome, and now you just add Ryan Leonard from Boston College, and all I keep hearing about is the Leafs, the Panthers, this team, that team. I'm not saying the Metro team is going to go to the Cup Finals. I just mean that it's a lot more spread out than people think. But, if I had to pick a team right now, I'm telling you, Tampa and Colorado, I'm going to stick to it. Not even just value-wise anymore. I believe
the Barry Horowitz of the year. At the start of the year, you said the surprise team was going to be the Capitals. And I don't forget, like an elephant doesn't forget. You said they were going to be the surprise team of the year. McGinnis deserves credit for that. We're like, what? They're going to be okay. We didn't see them doing this. Right, Gabe? Like, the Capitals are shocking the world what they're doing right now. It's crazy how good they've been.
Yeah, nobody thought they were going to be like the best team in the league. Although that could be a curse. I don't know if they're the best team in the league, but the President's Cup winner hasn't won in 11 years. I think Washington are good. They're dangerous, but I don't think they're going to make it to the Cup. I just want to buy in with you, McKinnis, here. I think it's going to be one of the South teams. It's like the hockey gods, bro. Like whatever city cares less about the game will win. So like basically, while Leaf fans are going to be crying, whatever, it'll be Tampa and Carolina. You know what I mean? Like Carolina. No, it's true. It's like Florida and Edmonton last year. It's 6 people show up to their parade. Meanwhile, Edmonton, people are committing suicide after they lose. You know what I mean? Like, it's the way it is. I'm hot on the Dallas Stars. If I had to say a team, like if I had to bet one team right now that's going to win the Stanley Cup, I'd say the Dallas Stars.
Love it. I got Dallas beating Toronto. That's my Stanley Cup final.
Yeah, the East, I don't know, man. Like I said, yeah, I'll take the Canadians. Let's go. Montebo all the way to the Cup.
Baby. If the Habs beat the Leafs and beat them again, I'm jumping through a window. Like I'd
love to see that if they play again. But I tell you what, if they played Ottawa, sorry, Cam, I'd be cheering for Ottawa. I'd just have to be on their side. Like it was just like, you know what I mean?
Hey man, you got to cheer for your money and whatever. If Ottawa beat the Leafs, I'll jump through a window again. Yeah, like I
before we get McKinnis out of here. I just realized, McKinnis, you look a lot like we got a dead ringer thing going on. What do you think, Greg, in Master Control here? You look like the coach of Florida. We're joined by Todd Golden, that stays away from the Final Four matchup against Auburn.
I like it.
The coach of Florida Gators. So I think you're a little better looking than him. He's got sort of a weird thing going. You got the same haircut going on.
Same haircut.
So Final Four, I did remember, actually, speaking of remember things, I know you like the Vols. I took them against Tennessee. They were flat. And it's funny because Houston worked great in their game before. It's something in college basketball to remember in the tournament. These teams have a great, like Michigan was great until they weren't. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, they're not going to be able to keep that up. And it was sort of like Tennessee. It was like, yeah, this is the Vols that we all kind of fear that was going to, like, eventually rear their head. What do you think about the Final Four, McKinnis?
Yeah, you know what? I think that it's finally time for the dogs to come to life a little bit, but at the same time, I think only one's going to come through, and I think it's going to be Houston is going to cover. But I think Florida gets the job done. You know, overall, I was telling everybody I think that I like Tennessee with my heart, but my mind likes Florida. I love the way Florida plays. I think they can get it done in the paint and the perimeter. They don't seem to get rattled as certain teams do late in games. They play the exact same way. So I think Florida gets the job done and moves on. But I do think we see the dog really compete in the next one against Duke.
Andrew McKinnis, wagertalk.com. Good stuff, McKinnis. Thanks for joining us tonight. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. McKinnis won't be with us next week.
Where's he going?
Thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah, where are you going, McKinnis?
Yeah, you going on a trip?
Caribbean cruise.
Oh, Caribbean
for the
cruise.
playoff.
Oh, there he is. Money bag.
Better hope COVID doesn't break out. Have fun.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid. You studied the stats. You had the perfect bracket until your upsets turned into regrets. SportsGrid rides the highs and lows of every buzzer beater, bracket buster, and Cinderella story.
The Big Ten Freshman of the Year!
Our team brings you sharp insights, real-time reactions, and all the madness. Only on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this once? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
If you look at how the men and women did it, the men, the portal opened up the day after the round of 32. Same thing with the women. Men on Monday, women on Tuesday. Why can't they just do the day after the national championship game when the season ends, next season begins, then you open up the portal. All teams have completed play. All bets are off.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I am Morency. The Pittsburgh players, the hustlers, the people that bust them, and everybody else in between. Man, we got a lot of stuff going on tonight. Great time of the year. And in fact, it's going to be pretty cool, actually. Like, this is, actually the calm before the storm. You know, we got these basketball, but we got baseball going on. But the playoffs are around the corner. NHL playoffs are always awesome. NBA playoffs are going to be very competitive this year. It's wide open. You got UFL football and CFL football. Before you know what the NFL is going to be here. It's going to be like, oh, I can't believe the Hall of Fame game is here already. Quick check, actually, on the hardwood right now. 36-33, the T-Wolves have played themselves back into this game. Nuggets are now up 36-33 with 9 minutes left in the second quarter. In-game total 230.5. Nuggets are 2.5-point favorites. Loyola Chicago are up 38-34 on Chattanooga. right now. NIT action. UC Irvine survive a nail-biter, fun basketball game. Lower scoring, but really competitive. North Texas. North Texas won the NIT a couple of years ago. They were looking for their second NIT win in 3 years, but they got eliminated by 2 points. UC Irvine win is 1.5-point underdogs. Now they're going to the final of the NIT at Butler Hinkle Fieldhouse. The Loyola Chicago Chattanooga winner goes on to the final. We're on Loyola Chicago money line, and we're on the over 146. They're up by 4 at the half, 38-34. They're laying 4.5. In-game total is 150.5 right now. We'll check into baseball in a couple of minutes. Let's bring in Paul Bovey right now as Paul's world tour continues. Paul, always good. How you doing?
Doing good. Go Anteaters, baby. I'm a UC Irvine guy, and can you believe that Memphis Grizzly collapse? I mean, the Warriors just go off on him. Curry, I think, went for 53 points tonight. The guy was absolutely on fire. But I'm sitting with the Grizzlies +7, +8, and then I come back, take the Warriors even, and lo and behold, I can't even get the middle there. But anyway, onward. I did catch Philly +15, +18.5. And, we got some games tomorrow night. Full NBA schedule as we wind down the season.
I don't do it often, Cam and Paul, but I bet against the Raptors tonight, actually. I was surprised by the low number with the Bulls.
Yeah.
I was like, 4.5 points? What am I missing here on this? And they murdered them. So we cashed that ticket. But speaking of the Grizzlies, Paul, what's your opinion on the fact that they fired Taylor Jenkins, their coach? And, I posted my thoughts about it a bit after when it happened. And I said, number one, he's a damn good basketball coach, this guy, in my opinion. Number two, this is one of the toughest jobs in the NBA. Like, all right, take the Knicks and the Lakers, high-profile stuff and the media stuff out. But, dude, when you're the coach of the Grizzlies, you're basically part prison guard, part, community worker, part, basketball coach. You got, Morant's father flipping out on the sideline. You don't know if Morant's going to pull a piece out. Desmond Bane wants to beat everybody up. To me, it was like he lost control of the room. And we see, they're fighting on the sidelines. There was always, it was very confrontational all the time. They're like a street team. But he's a good coach, Paul. But do you agree with me? I mean, that's not an easy job, man. Imagine trying to coach that room. There's a lot of head cases in that room, bro.
No, there's a lot of unhinged guys on the team, but at some point, you just got to shake it up a little bit. So it has nothing to do or little to do with his competency as a head coach. But sometimes you just have to make a move. You cannot fire the player. You can fire the coach. So he'll land somewhere. He'll end up getting another job, another gig, just like a lot of these coaches do. It's the merry-go-round.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Of coaching. So, it's just unfortunate. But lo and behold, it doesn't seem to be working. I mean, they had a choke job last night against the Celtics at home, and then tonight against Golden State, more of the same, unfortunately. They outscore them 37-22 in the third quarter, take I think a 4 or 5 point lead, and just collapse down the stretch.
Cam, I did not play the Nuggets and the T-Wolves game. Any action for you here? You want to pull the trigger in game?
Nah, I got enough, Gabe. I'm going to tell you, I got the Chattanooga Mocs. You're on the other side there. I got baseball coming out my yin-yang. I got every hockey game going. We're leading. Great call, by the way, on the over 1.5 in the Ducks game. They're up 3-1 right now. Vegas is up, and I got the Winnipeg Jets under with the Jets +105. I got enough action, and I'm betting Australian horse racing after the show. I hit an $800 try last night.
It's a weasel night, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, dude, Paul, I got 29 current bets right now, although I do have some futures in here. But I'm looking at my
73, Gabe, but a lot of golf.
73.
Yeah, a lot of $20 golf stuff. Yeah, you know me.
So, do you guys have any dry powder in your account, or is that it? Do you just tap it out? And
yeah, we go. The gun's empty, Bovey. Just smoke.
I got a lot of bullets left. His gun's empty. I got some bullets left.
Oh, my gun's so empty. I need more bullets from Australia.
No, I got some bullets here, Paul. But I brought it up at the top of the program. It hasn't happened to me ever almost, but I actually got one of the welfare check. the wellness check-ins from the sports book.
Oh, I got one last week.
They basically said, we've noticed, I got an email and the whole message thing, it was real, before I could play again, Paul, I had to click through it and everything. And it was I'm like, what the hell is this? It was we've noticed heavy activity recently, and, your deposits have been, bigger and more frequent and stuff. And I just said, yes, I'm fine. I went through it all, but I'm thinking, it's freaking March Madness, you dumbasses. You got March Madness going on. Baseball starting at the same time here. You want me to bet or not? I had to deposit.
Yeah. So, you guys are shaking me down like a meeting or something like that. I'm with you, Morency. It's a long process, too. It's dude, I've already answered your questions. Just let me gamble. Who are you?
The Detroit and Seattle right now. I like that under 7.5 we said earlier. It's still 6.5 now. We're into the top of the 5th inning. I'm going to go under the 6.5. Seattle just don't score. So it's 3-0 for the Detroit Tigers right now. Angels up 9-7 on the Cardinals. We got a track meet going on there. San Diego undefeated. They're up 1-0 on the Guardians in the bottom of the 5th. And the Braves are up 1-0 on the Dodgers, top of the 3rd inning right now. The Dodgers have been trailing quite a bit, though, at times this year. 4 of their wins, they've been behind in their game so far. So no panic early with the Dodgers. We got USC and Tulane coming up. We got Paul's thoughts on that, NBA, and more. Final Four, let's roll.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid. You studied the stats. You had the perfect bracket until your upsets turned into regrets. SportsGrid rides the highs and lows of every buzzer beater, bracket buster, and Cinderella story.
The Big Ten Freshman of the Year!
Our team brings you sharp insights, real-time reactions, and all the madness. Only on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this once? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
If you look at how the men and women did it, the men, the portal opened up the day after the round of 32. Same thing with the women. Men on Monday, women on Tuesday. Why can't they just do the day after the national championship game when the season ends, next season begins, then you open up the portal. All teams have completed play. All bets are off.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Well, the St. Louis Blues did it. They did it. And it was plus 600. Okay, it was plus 600. I didn't take it because I was already on the Blues. Right? But, dude, when you're hot, you're hot. And Cam won a trifecta last night. So, on the Australian racetrack. Anyone following us tonight, too? Guys, I said to Pharrell, asked me today, guys, on the air, what do I think about the Canadians and the Panthers? I said, I think the Canadians beat them again, but I think it goes to overtime. It went to overtime with 12 seconds left in the game. Right? This game, I'm on the St. Louis Blues, guys. I'm 6-0 on the night in the NHL. And I said, damn, looks like I'm going to have my first loss of the night. Said it's 1-0 with 3 minutes left. I remember we talked about it. We said, do they have any magic left? Or they come back, 9-game win streak? They're plus 600. Boom. They actually score And then they win in overtime. The Blues are now 10-game win streak winners. They basically just eliminated Calgary and Vancouver. So
yeah,
I bet that's what I figured, guys. Paul, like I'm a Canuck guy here. I'm going to the games, and I mean the team's grown on me. They're not going to make the playoffs this year because of St. Louis. So I'm just betting on St. Louis every game now. I'm like, yeah, I might as well make some money off of this. Like as long as I'm not going to be going to see the playoffs this year. So at 2-1, St. Louis Blues win 10 games in a row.
The best is
right now for the St. Louis Blues.
McKinnis is on the show. He's like, Gabe, I bet against St. Louis tonight. You're like,
oh, yeah,
I'm on the Blues. Right when he said that, Blues score. Overtime, they win. Oh, we are weasels.
Hockey's crazy. Anyway, we were just talking about it.
Nuts.
Hockey's a crazy sport to bet on. All right, so speaking of going to games, Paul Bovey went to the Knicks and the Clipper game last week, and now he's going to see the New York Knicks again, this time in Seatown. Cleveland Cavaliers, Paul, 10.5-point favorites in this basketball game right now.
10.5.
That's what I see.
Hey, last week I said I was going to abstain from betting, and I tried, but it didn't work.
With us.
So what did you do with the game? What did you do with the game?
Oh, I ended up back and forth. You know, I got plus 2.5 on each side within a minute span, which was great. So I'm sitting with a middle, and I go, wait a second. I want to go long Clippers here. I knew the Knicks had played the night before. I mentioned that on air, and the Clippers won handily going away. Wasn't much of a contest. And tomorrow night, I think the Knicks will come out strong. I actually played the Knicks in the first quarter last week, which was money. But tomorrow, I think, again, the Knicks will come out strong. They got Kolek in tonight for 20 minutes. Try to give some of the starters some rest, which they did. Nobody went encroached beyond 35 minutes. Karl Anthony Towns sat out. So hopefully they'll have some legs tomorrow night because I want to see a competitive game. And certainly, as we all know, the Knicks have not been competitive this year against the likes of Boston and Cleveland. And I'm hoping that's going to change tomorrow.
Yeah, there's not a lot of moral victories at this level, right? But if you're the Knicks, it'd be nice to have a couple of wins or a win against a good team, right? And not to have that sort of in the back of your mind going into the playoffs. Speaking of which, Paul, we spent a lot of time talking about LeBron and the Lakers and all that. They get it done last night against the Rockets, but you saw the Clippers up close, and Kawhi is healthy, right now, and we talked about Harden in the year that he's having. People will criticize Harden, but they don't want to give him credit when he does well. But you look at this Clipper team, they're a dangerous basketball team, bro, and they could be really dangerous, Paul, if they're healthy in the playoffs.
Oh, absolutely. As long as Norman Powell is in the lineup, and I know you're a fan of his, the Clippers are going to be competitive.
I am. UCLA Bruin, Toronto Raptor. Yeah.
That's right. Anybody who's an ex-Raptor, you're a fan of.
Friends.
Not everybody. Not Chris Bosh.
It doesn't matter. Ex-Raptor.
Kelly Olynyk, he's okay with me. I'll smoke weed with him any day.
He's all right.
He's all right. Kelly's all right with me.
That guy's hilarious. That guy's too much. He's in every commercial.
Speaking of which, the Raptors and former Raptors today, I saw a tweet today. I saw a post that said the Toronto Raptors are going to retire Chris Bosh's number 4.
What?
And it said Scotty Barnes will no longer wear number 4 starting next year. And I actually started burning for a minute. I was like, you got to be effing kidding me. I was like, you're retiring Chris Bosh, this jackass that left Toronto? Vince is another story. And I was like, you're going to make Scotty Barnes? Then I realized April Fools.
Yeah, exactly.
April Fools. Hey, Vancouver, they had a really good one. The local news had a really good one today. They said that they put in tipping options and parking meters so you could tip the parking meter.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid. You studied the stats. You had the perfect bracket until your upsets turned into regrets. SportsGrid rides the highs and lows of every buzzer beater, bracket buster, and Cinderella story.
The Big Ten Freshman of the Year!
Our team brings you sharp insights, real-time reactions, and all the madness. Only on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this once? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
If you look at how the men and women did it, the men, the portal opened up the day after the round of 32. Same thing with the women. Men on Monday, women on Tuesday. Why can't they just do the day after the national championship game when the season ends, next season begins, then you open up the portal. All teams have completed play. All bets are off.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Great night of sports continues on the SportsGrid Radio and Television Network, Sirius XM Channel 159. I'm Gabriel Morency. This is SportsRage. We got a really good best of X that we'll get to later, but I'm just going in order right now, clicking down. Edmonton and Vegas, big-time hockey game. Atlanta Braves and the Los Angeles Dodgers, cool baseball game going on. End of third, Braves up 1-0. Calgary, Utah, blacked out. So looks like I'm out of cool clicks here. But I actually have, here's, I got to tell you, man, curling season never stops. It's like a rave. We got the World Men's Curling Championships going on right now from God knows where.
It's curling practice today. Oh, my God.
No, curling's amazing. And I'll tell you another thing. Watch out for, like, Japan and stuff in curling now. It used to be Scotland and all these other countries. I'm telling you, man, they're on fire.
China's pretty good at curling now, too.
Yeah, China and Japan. Like, the Orient has figured out curling, and they're coming to say, let's rock. I'm telling you. They mean business.
Cam's hot take of the night tonight. The Orient has learned curling.
It's true. It's a hot take. It's a fact. It's not even a hot take.
It's called Asia.
Asia. Yeah, sorry. Japan and China are both curling monsters now. Watch out. Chuck rocks hard.
All right, so Paul Bovey in the house with us. I'll just rattle off the NBA card for tomorrow. We'll see if anything catches Paul's eye, but a lot of big numbers, and, it's the NBA. Yeah, bring on the playoffs. But Charlotte Hornets getting 14.5 in Indianapolis. Totals 225. Knicks are getting a 10.5 right now in Cleveland. Paul's in Cleveland going to the game. Over-unders 230. Sacramento Kings are laying 12.5 in Washington. Total 231.5. The Miami Heat are 11-point underdogs at Boston. Over-under 213.5. Rockets are laying 17.5, 225.5, hosting the Jazz. Mavericks, 4-point home favorites against the Hawks. And I reposted the video tonight, guys. The Hawks had like a fan contest. All you had to do was lay the ball up, lay it in. The fan tore his ACL. The poor bastard slipped on a wet spot on the floor and shredded his knee. Like the Atlanta Hawks are so bad, like even their fans get hurt, man, when they step on that floor. I don't think you can sue either. Like I think unless he can prove that the floor was wet and it was their fault. But
come on, that's negligence. I'm sure there must have all the attorneys in the crowd must have.
Well, that's considering. Yeah, I imagine in Atlanta there's more than one personal injury attorney that's calling him right now. Hello, Mr. Smith. I'd like to talk to you. I saw you on the news tonight. Like, I think the Atlanta Hawks should pay for this. So do I, sir. For sure, we're going to hear about a lawsuit. the team's like, yeah, we can't bring people on the court because they're going to tear their ACL. I'm thinking about it. I went on the court with Clam Chowder. I was with Clam Chowder. And they actually picked him to go on the court. I was thinking, why not me? I'd actually make the shots, but I wasn't dressed up like Elvis, like Clam Chowder was. It's on YouTube, actually. It's one of the funniest fan contests ever. Like, he missed the backboard. It was really, really good. Utah and Houston 17.5. Hawks Mavericks 4. Pistons Thunder tomorrow night. The Pistons are getting 14 points against the Thunder.
Yeah, that's crazy. But no Cade Cunningham, so that's the issue.
Yeah.
Oh, and then they had to fight the other night too. It's always these guys. And the Clippers are 18 to the Pels tomorrow night, Paul. Not much to pick at tomorrow night on the NBA card, to be honest. All these big numbers.
I like Dallas. I like Dallas. I had the Hawks the other night against Milwaukee on the road, easy money. Tonight, 14 points. They lose to Portland, of all teams. But Dallas is starting to play some basketball. Anthony Davis is day-to-day, but he's probable. He will play, but they got Gafford back. And let's face it, this team needs to sell some tickets. They're on the cusp of making the playoffs to play in. They're going to want to get seeding. So I'm liking Dallas here. Atlanta is not playing much defense at all. So now that you have the center back in the lineup in Gafford to join Anthony Davis, and you still got a sharpshooter in Klay Thompson, I like this Dallas team, and I think they're going to win tomorrow night, and they'll win handily.
Oh, boy, here's an NIT update. Chattanooga are now up by 5 on Loyola Chicago. They've taken the lead, so it's 52-47. I got the over. It's still looking good, but I took over 154.5 in-game, and it's currently 149.5. I'd like to see a couple of shots fall, but a lot of basketball left in an elimination game, NIT semifinals. Chattanooga up 52-47. They're playing in Indianapolis on Butler's home court, and Chattanooga just buried a 3. 55-47 right now. All right, let's get some points. I just want points in this game. I don't care who scores. Let's go. Paul, Final Four. Any thoughts? Any interest in laying it down on anything here with Duke, Houston, Florida, Auburn?
We did pretty good last week. We had Florida, okay? That was comfortable. Not Florida on the money line. I meant to say we had Florida against Maryland, and that was comfortable, but it was not against Texas Tech. Look, the Red Raiders were outscored, 19-4, late 9-2. I'm not overly impressed with this Florida team, but I am impressed with the defense of Auburn. They've held teams below 70, except for Creighton, who went 12-27 from beyond the arc. So they're keeping the scoring of the opposition to a minimum. So where I would go with this game is I would look towards the Gators team total under. The total, I think, opened up 61.5. It's down to 60. Seems like a very high number. Florida has been very fortunate. They were lucky to get by UConn, missed 12 foul shots. They were very fortunate against Texas Tech. And I like this Auburn team. Bruce Pearl clearly has the experience here as a coach. So I'm going to go with that Florida team total under. Should be a close game. I could see Auburn sneaking it out. I don't see any value with the Florida Gators here. And as far as the other game, I do like Houston. Houston has held the opposition, and over the last 16 games, 14 of them to 65 or less. One of those two were 68. So they generally hold the scoring down also of the opposition. So you're getting 5 points here. Sampson is the most experienced of the 4 coaches in terms of Final Four participation. And I think that Houston can definitely stay close against a Duke team that, to me, really hasn't killed the competition. You look at that Alabama team, and they just whiffed when it came to their three-point shooting the other day. They just couldn't convert, and it wasn't because they were being blanketed. They were just missing shots. So I think Houston can hold the scoring down and cover this basketball game, take the 5.
Paul Bovey on a Houston. Listen, that Houston Cougar team, awesome defense. And this is, one thing with Duke. Listen, they did kill teams all year, but you could question the competition in the ACC. Yet the best defense that they played against actually were the Clemson Tigers, and Clemson beat them, right? As far as like the metrics, like being a top 25 caliber type of defense, Clemson are very good defensively, and they did give Duke problems, but Duke are just so good, man. I mean, they're like an NBA team good almost. And these guys got multiple NBA players on the floor. They play smart. They play unselfishly. They play good defense. Paul Bovey, enjoy the Knicks and the Cavs, Paul. Always a pleasure.
All right, let's keep the Knicks close in the first quarter.
Knicks plus the points first quarter.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid. You studied the stats. You had the perfect bracket until your upsets turned into regrets. SportsGrid rides the highs and lows of every buzzer beater, bracket buster, and Cinderella story.
The Big Ten Freshman of the Year!
Our team brings you sharp insights, real-time reactions, and all the madness. Only on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this once? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
If you look at how the men and women did it, the men, the portal opened up the day after the round of 32. Same thing with the women. Men on Monday, women on Tuesday. Why can't they just do the day after the national championship game when the season ends, next season begins, then you open up the portal? All teams have...
The Twisted Tuesday continues, as does the countdown to the National Football League draft in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Let's do this thing. Let's get busy with Rick Saratella, the founder of the NFL Draft Bible, allaccessfootball.com. Rick, the countdown to the draft continues. Let's do this thing. How you doing?
Hey, man, we've been talking draft 11 straight months. Let's flip that calendar over to April.
Yeah, and I tell you what, I'm going to get right down to business this week. No small talk. In the words of Krusty the Clown, my feet hurt. No monologue. We got a ton of draft position props, Rick. We've been waiting for this. It's like Christmas time. Hot off the presses right now. Well, everybody's focused in on the Final Four and the start of Major League Baseball. We've got player position props for everybody. Let's start off with the hottest running back in the draft, although Hampton's getting a lot of love right now to North Carolina. It's all about Ashton Genty. Rick, his over-under is 9.5. Under 9.5 is minus 180. Over 9.5 is plus 145. I wanted to quickly refresh people's memory, or if you don't know, you're in a car right now listening on Sirius Truck, whatever, on channel 159. The quick draft order: Tennessee first, Cleveland second, Giants third, Patriots fourth, Jags fifth, Raiders 6, Jets 7, Panthers 8, Saints 9, Bears 10. Over under Ashton Genty. Does he go in the top 10 in your opinion, Rick?
Yes, he does. He's a top 10 overall player in this year's draft. You got to look at the impact that running backs had this past season. That weighs heavily on the mind of NFL decision makers. And right now, he's the odds-on favorite to go number 6 to the Raiders, well under 10, which would make a lot of sense, alleviate some pressure at the quarterback position there. And if it isn't the Raiders, a lot of people are saying the Bears at 10, but I do think there will be a team there that values the running back position and pulls the trigger before then.
The Raiders is interesting, isn't it? They got Geno Smith there with Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll, of course, likes bell cow running backs, had a success with Reggie Bush, had a success with Marshawn Lynch. So it makes a lot of sense. They got Brock Bowers to throw the football to. He's an elite pass catcher, in my opinion. You could add some wide receivers later in the draft. It makes sense. Let me ask you, Rick, about the Carolina Panthers. They're kind of, they're in the 8th spot here. They're in an interesting situation, aren't they, in that you got to get Bryce Young some help. I think you and I agree that Bryce showed a lot of positive traits last year, but you got to get him some help. Adam Thielen can't be his go-to guy, but at the same point in time, bro, their defense is terrible, right? They need football players. What do you do if you're the Panthers? Because I'm thinking Ashton Genty and Bryce Young's not a bad 1-2 punch.
Yeah, I think they gave Chuba Hubbard, the Canadian, an extension. I also think they signed a free agent. It's slipping my mind off the top of my head.
We've seen teams with multiple backs. You're right, though. Hubbard is a good back, right? But it's not crazy to say that, hey, we bring Genty in as well.
Yeah, no, it's not crazy, but they, like you said, they have so many other needs. I could see them doing that because I don't love the quarterback there. I think they'll stick with Bryce Young, but I would look, and they haven't replaced Brian Burns yet, but I would look at a guy like Tyler Warren. Why not get Bryce Young some help?
Interesting.
Underneath security blanket, dump it off. He can line inline, outline, slot, H-back, halfback, wildcat, whatever you need. Tyler Warren, he could be a escape clause for Bryce Young.
And on the flip side, defensively, how about Jalen Carter as well? You've seen the success that Georgia Bulldogs have had in the past. The Eagles have stockpiled Philadelphia Eagle players, and you got Jalen Walker right now on the board. They need defensive help as well, Rick. I mean, they could go DB, but it seems to me if you look at the Panthers, their defensive line is really soft, isn't it? Like they need help up front on the edge and in the interior.
Yeah, and I think people are split on Jalen Walker. Is he an edge rusher? Is he an off-ball linebacker? I could justify James Pierce Jr. here, who we've talked a lot about. I mean, in terms of
Tennessee Volunteer, yeah.
Yeah, Tennessee Volunteer. James Pierce Jr. would make a lot of sense as well. But I think they got to either get some help for Bryce Young or get a pass rusher.
I don't know about Pierce. You're the draft expert, Rick. But the thing with Pierce is I watch a lot of Tennessee games. I didn't hear his name called a lot, to be honest with you. Right? And then you and I talked about it. It's like, yeah, of course he looked great at the combine. Right? Yeah. I mean, yeah, he's now he stepped up. He was built for the combine, but are you all in? Like, would you draft him if you were the GM of a team? Would you be like, yeah, I'm going to go? You and I discussed Pierce or Mason Graham, but are you pro or anti-Pierce?
Well, first of all, you got the traits, the athleticism, and there is some production there with 9.5 sacks this year, 20 career sacks. So he did it in the SEC, a bunch of pressures. Now, you got to coach him up. You got to get the best out of him. He's got all the tools in the toolbox. You got to maximize that talent. What I like about him most, Gabriel Morency, he's got a few screws loose in the head, and I like my defensive line.
Hey, you don't want to be a nice guy. I brought up Jalen Walker to the Panthers because his prop actually, Rick, is 8.5. Wow. The books think he's going under 8.5, minus 150 to the under. What do you think about that?
Well, I have yet to find a home for him. Never mind the top 8. I haven't found a home for him in the top 10. So I just don't see how Jalen Walker fits into the top 10 equation. I'm not there yet on him.
A number that surprised me, yet the odds makers know what they're doing. They keep the lights on for a reason, bro. But McMillan, the wide receiver out of Arizona, they got him posted at 18.5, Rick. Is he really going to last to the 19th pick of the draft?
Well, I think this is one of those scenarios, Gabe, where if he is invited to the draft, you might see the camera panning backstage in the green room to McMillan, because I think he's now going to be one of the biggest sliders come draft day. There's a video circulating of him doing this college interview, him eating lunch, basically saying, I don't really waste my time studying. We study in practice. We got the film room. Basically saying, I don't.
He said he doesn't like football. Yeah, he said he doesn't like football or watch football. He goes, I don't really like it or watch it.
I gotta tell you, this is like a death sentence for NFL.
That was 2 years ago, though, right? But is it sticking that much?
Listen, I think when you talk about passion and love for the game and then investing all these millions of dollars on a first-round draft pick, this goes a long way. I think he could slide to your Buffalo Bills. I'm looking at a team like the Chargers at 22. I see a team.
Yeah, interesting.
You know, I think.
But there's a lot of smear job going on with this kid right now. You're right. That video is out there, and now I'm hearing all this unnamed sources in Arizona. Wow, he didn't really practice hard or work hard. He just relies on his skill, and he doesn't love the game. I don't know. I heard the same thing about Anthony Edwards in the NBA when he told people, I don't watch the NBA. Right? He didn't know who half the teams were in the league. One of the best players in the league, still. But we'll hit this some more with Rick on the other side. Bring it.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid. You studied the stats. You had the perfect bracket until your upsets turned into regrets. SportsGrid rides the highs and lows of every buzzer beater, bracket buster, and Cinderella story.
The Big Ten Freshman of the Year!
Our team brings you sharp insights, real-time reactions, and all the madness. Only on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this once? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
If you look at how the men and women did it, the men, the portal opened up the day after the round of 32. Same thing with the women. Men on Monday, women on Tuesday. Why can't they just do the day after the national championship game when the season ends, next season begins, then you open up the portal. All teams have completed play. All bets are off.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Tuesday continues. I am Gabriel Morency, SportsGrid Radio and Television Network, Sirius XM Channel 159. Always love talking NFL football. People haven't talked a lot of football recently, but we never stop thinking about the draft, and the time is really now to start pulling the trigger. Curious to see Rick Saratella's reactions to some of these other player numbers that I throw at him right now. You mentioned Tyler Warren. Tyler Warren's a stud. We'll get to him in a second, but you've been pretty high on Jackson Dart. I've been up and down on him. But the more I look under the hood, the more I see a lot of things that are more positive than negative, Rick. And one thing about Jackson, and I think that he needs to get credit for, is played a lot of different offenses. Right? I was reading about his journey, and I read an interesting interview with him, and he talked about his high school offense was different than a USC offense. And then he's been around some smart guys. I guess that's what I'm getting at over the years. And then he talked about how complicated Lane Kiffin's offense is and how he thinks he's prepared for the NFL. And I would agree. with that. And he's only 22, right? A lot of these other quarterbacks are always older nowadays, Rick. He's only 22. He's played a lot of different systems. He's always reacted well. There's a lot to like about Jackson right now, and you've always maintained, even when everybody really wasn't hot on him, that he was going to be a first-round pick. I'm starting to think he could be a top 10 pick right now, Rick. What's your take? Over, under Jackson Dart, and his prop right now, guys, is 21.5, which I think sounds a little bit low to me, bro. I don't think he's going to last that long.
I don't believe so. I'm going to go way under here. You and I were chatting off here. We think maybe top 10 for Jackson Dart.
The New Orleans Saints, guys, number 9, New Orleans Saints. No secret out there that Kellen Moore loves this kid.
Yeah, and it's a supply and demand type of league. And when you got a new head coach coming in New Orleans, you've got a quarterback there who's made 169 career starts. So I understand, Carr is 77-92 for his career, 15 games below 500. I know what I'm getting, a loser quarterback. So I don't want to proceed in that fashion. If you want to keep him on the bench, I actually like sitting Jackson Dart for maybe the first half of the season and say
great call.
Some of those lumps he's going to take,
I'm glad you bring that up, Rick, because he's younger. But one thing, guys, Jackson only 41 starts, Rick. And only that's pretty good. I mean, remember Mitch Trubisky had 13 starts, right? And people were surprised how raw he was. But he's played 41 games. I'm with you. I wouldn't want to throw Jackson out there right away. I think the Saints are a perfect fit for him. He could learn behind Carr for a year.
Yes, I think that's exactly right, because if you have to play Jackson Dart right away, I think his chances of being successful decrease because he's not ready. I mean, in Ole Miss, he had a national championship caliber team. He just couldn't get the job done in big spots. He's not there yet. He's not ready to take his team to the next level. We saw that at the collegiate level. He's not somebody I want to throw into the fire and do a baptism by fire right here on the fly. But if I can have him sit and watch behind a guy who made 169 career starts, who's going to take those lumps for him, and Carr's a total team player, right? He's going to help that kid out as much as he can. I think it's a perfect spot for Jackson Dart.
When you first say it, and even the second time you just said 169, I keep on waiting to hear. He's made $169 million, and he's not that good. I keep on waiting for something like that to come out, because that's the thing with Carr. He's all right, and he is a team guy. He's a good guy, but the Saints are handcuffed by this. But they have to make the decision: do they like Dart enough to just sort of bite the bullet here and get the quarterback done? But if you're Kellen Moore, guys, it makes a lot of sense, right? You don't have forever at these NFL jobs, right? And Moore was a quarterback. He knows how important this is to get his guy in there. We're hearing a lot, so. For the record, Dart is 21.5 his prop. I just don't think he lasts that long.
So you get the Steelers in there, too, at 21. You get the Steelers with that included.
Well, there's the number right there.
Yeah.
I was going to bring it up, Rick. Who's the other, I was going to say, who's the other team? Quarterbacks. Atlanta, no. Arizona, no. Cincinnati, no. Seattle, no. Seattle just gave big money to Sam Darnold, et cetera. They're living in sort of the now. Dallas, no. Tampa Bay, no. Denver, no. So then it really comes down to Jackson Dart for the New Orleans Saints at 9, or the Pittsburgh Steelers at 21, or does somebody jump up into the mix for him, surprisingly, but I don't really see that happening, Rick. So I guess we really only have 2 spots for him.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to say the Rams, maybe, I don't know, would be the other team that could pull the trigger. But, yeah, I see 2 teams both under the 21.5 at 21 and number 9, so I like the under there.
Well, last time you and I spoke, we spoke about the New York Giants, and we said, I don't know what the hell these guys are going to do. And literally minutes later, Rick, they signed Russell Wilson. So I'm hesitant to talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers right now, and I don't know what the hell they're going to do. But you see Aaron Rodgers throwing passes with DK Metcalf. We'll hit this some more with Rick on the other side.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid. You studied the stats. You had the perfect bracket until your upsets turned into regrets. SportsGrid rides the highs and lows of every buzzer beater, bracket buster, and Cinderella story.
The Big Ten Freshman of the Year!
Our team brings you sharp insights, real-time reactions, and all the madness. Only on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this once? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
If you look at how the men and women did it, the men, the portal opened up the day after the round of 32. Same thing with the women. Men on Monday, women on Tuesday. Why can't they just do the day after the national championship game when the season ends, next season begins, then you open up the portal. All teams have completed play. All bets are off.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
All right, there's just so much I want to get to with Rick. I swear we could do I could do every night 3-hour special leading into the draft every night. There's so many players I want to get to. Rick Saratella, NFL Draft Bible, allaccessfootball.com. With us, check out Rick's awesome podcast he does weekly with Brian Baldinger, where they break it down as well. So let's talk about some of my Michigan Wolverines here right now. Mason Graham, his prop is 5.5, which I think is a pretty fair number for him. I think I'm not saying he's falling a little bit, but no fault of his own. But I think just sort of like the way that the draft is lining up in front of him, I'm not sure where he's going to go. Although, it's all about the Cleveland Browns, isn't it? Are they going to take, are they going to go quarterback or not? Are they going to take Shedeur Sanders or not? That makes a massive difference here. Now the Giants seem to be pretty stocked up with quarterbacks, Rick. Let me just throw that at you actually right now. What are the Giants going to do with their draft pick right now, Rick? What are they going to do with the third overall pick of the draft? They're going to take Travis Hunter?
Yeah, Joe Shane was out here at the owners' meeting deflecting questions and having the Giants beat reporters come away saying, oh, I don't think he's going to draft a quarterback. I don't think he wants a quarterback. Like, yo, it's smokescreen season. That's what the owner meetings are for, to throw you off the trail. I think absolutely if Shedeur Sanders is there, they're pulling the trigger. Listen, Russell Wilson's making a $10.5 million base with incentives up to $21 million. Last time I checked, Gabe, that's not starting quarterback money in the National Football League. So
he's making punter money. He's making good punter money.
Yeah, Shedeur Sanders, absolutely, if he's there.
Interesting.
To answer your question about Mason Graham, like, to me, you got two quarterbacks, and then you got Travis Hunter, and you got Abdul Carter. Is Mason Graham the next best player off the board? I don't see it that way. I don't even think he's in the conversation right now. Like, he's been out of sight, out of mind, didn't work out at the combine, didn't work out at the pro day, didn't have a lot of sack production. So, like, there's some questions about, is he really an interior pass rush guy like a Walter Nolan is? I don't think he's that. So I don't see Mason Graham getting into the top 5. Then you got New England there, who might take an offensive lineman, never mind Mason Graham. So I don't see Graham in the top 5.
Yeah, I'm starting to believe that he isn't. I'm not going to criticize him, but I understand what you're saying. And his attitude, it seems like his people's attitude are basically like, I've shown you everything. He kept on going back to it, but, okay, cool. I'm glad you guys won. I'm glad that we had such a great run against Ohio State, but check the Ohio State tape, right? He said a couple of times. Check the tape. So you want to hang on that, but they do hang on that, Rick, but they want to see more. You can't just live on your tape from college, right?
That's right. I mean, you can and you can't. I mean, is Mason Graham good enough that he doesn't have to work out? Sure. But when you have guys around you, especially at this locked and loaded. Defensive line, like defensive tackle and edge rushers are probably two of the deepest positions in this year's draft. So when you have guys who are competing and performing and putting up record-setting kind of measurements and measurables, like, it means something.
Yeah, like Pierce did, right? Pierce put up the big numbers, and Mason didn't do anything besides talk to Stacey Dales in Indianapolis. I'm just saying. The Jets. I don't want to see him with the Jets, but he'd be a good Jet. I mean, I just saw the sack exchange, 30 for 30. I'm thinking, he's not really a sack monster, but he'd be, Jet fans would like him. Like he's a blue-collar kid, this kid. He's from Orange County, but he's not a flashy California type of dude. Carolina, we were just talking about Carolina before, Rick, with the 8th pick. So I'm with you. Like, we're just talking about betting here, guys, right now. I'm starting to think over 5.5. What about his teammate, Will Johnson, the cornerback? Rick, how high are you on Will Johnson? His prop is over under 11.5.
Yeah, I like Will Johnson, but he's another one, Gabe, coming off a serious injury, sat out the last 6 games of the season, was unable to perform or work out for NFL scouts prior to the draft. And so now there's some questions about his time speed. There's some questions about his long speed. And I have Will Johnson as my number 3 cornerback, Travis Hunter 1, Jahdae Barron, the Thorpe Award winner, number 2, and Will Johnson, number 3, not too far behind him. However, when I try to find a home for Will Johnson inside the top 10, I just don't see it. We talked about 2, maybe 3 quarterbacks. We talked about Hunter and Carter. There's 5. I don't know if I consider Will Johnson to be in the next 5 overall best players.
Tyler Warren, tight end out of Penn State. The kid's a monster, super freak athlete. There's nothing not really to love about this kid, to be honest. It's 10.5 his prop, Rick. It's shaded to the under, so they're expecting him to go in the top 10. Looking at landing spots, he'd look good on anybody's football team. But process of elimination, the Raiders aren't taking him. They got Brock Bowers, obviously, who's a centerpiece. What do you make of Tyler Warren? We threw out Carolina earlier. New Orleans needs help, but they need a quarterback. I don't think they're going to go tight end there. They would go defense if they didn't go dart, I believe. Warren would look pretty good in a Chicago Bear uniform, I'll tell you that, with Caleb Williams as well at the 10 spot. What's your take on Tyler?
I have Tyler Warren as a top 5 talent in this year's draft. That tells me there's going to be a team that values him in the top 10. We mentioned the Jets. We mentioned the Saints, right? How about a replacement for the Panthers? How about the Bears? You want to pair him up with Sam Laporta? That'd be amazing. I just think that this guy's too valuable, too good. He's a true blue chip prospect. I think he's a top 5 talent. I don't see how he gets out of the top 10.
Rick Saratella with us for a couple of more moments. Awesome stuff. Rick, UFL week 1 in the books.
Yeah.
Birmingham Stallions, too early to panic. Buying or selling that the dynasty is done with Skip Holtz in Birmingham?
No, I'm not going to buy that just yet. Listen, my parting gift to the Edmonton Elks was giving them Alex McGough. He was going to be coming up to the CFL and competing for a starting job. I believe in Alex McGough. I think he's going to be the MVP of the UFL. He had to shake off a little rust there, Gabe. He's been playing wide receiver in Green Bay the past 2 years. So cut some slack to McGough. He'll be back. Skip Holtz, he's not new to this. He's true to this spring league. And so I think Birmingham, when it's all said and done, will be playing for another chip.
They got a big game this week against Michigan. Michigan Coach Nolan, former Niners coach guy, Mike Nolan's done a nice job with this Michigan team. They like to pound the rock. I don't know why they just don't play Perkins more. He rotates quarterbacks, but Birmingham and Michigan this week. Birmingham are 1.5-point favorites. Our guy, the Spring King, Luis Perez, looked very crisp. I'll tell you what, like Arlington was supposed to win a couple of years ago, and they didn't have a good year, and then they ended up winning. I guess in the XFL, it's hard to keep up with these leagues now, Rick. But remember, it was like, oh, they got Stoops, they got Perez, they're going to be great, and Arlington were the favorites. They were bad in the regular season. Then they ended up winning, actually, when Perez came in mid-season, led them to the championship. Last year, they struggled, but I got to tell you, that was a crisp football team last week, Rick. Like, that offense was humming. That was the difference, continuity. They have a lot of the same guys back. It's like a real football team right now, and it really showed with Arlington. I was really impressed. They're 8.5-point favorites against Houston, Rick, who might be the worst football team in America.
Yeah, and I'll take Arlington all day here because continuity.
Yeah, they're bad, the Roughnecks. They're bad, guys. Sorry, I just want to say they're bad.
It's going to be a rough season, and I don't know how that head coach still has his job there.
Barlow. Yeah.
Well, no,
not Barlow. Barlow's in Washington. Excuse me. Barlow's still in Washington. Yeah, the guy that came back. They fired everybody. Yeah, who's the coach in Houston? They fired everybody except the coach. They brought him back.
Yeah, you know what? Funny, I don't know his name. I'm not sure he knows his own name. That's how clueless he is. So, give me Arlington.
He's
here.
mic'd up, Rick. He's mic'd up, and it's really funny to hear him. It's just like, come on, what the F are you doing? It's just like
you had the assistant. You had who was it? Tom Cable coaching him up the other
Curtis
day.
Johnson. Curtis Johnson.
And you had Tom Cable pretty much telling him what we got to do over here. Like, yo, dude, let's get it together. But, Luis Perez, this is like his book signing autograph tour, his world tour with the Spring of the King book. He's coming back for one more season. And who started more games in the spring? I mean, he's from the Spring League to the UFL, the XFL, the AAF. This guy's played all.
He's the man. We got to get out of here, Rick. You're the man. This is Sports Rage, Rick.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid. You studied the stats. You had the perfect bracket until your upsets turned into regrets. SportsGrid rides the highs and lows of every buzzer beater, bracket buster, and Cinderella story.
The Big Ten Freshman of the Year!
Our team brings you sharp insights, real-time reactions, and all the madness. Only on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this once? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
If you look at how the men and women did it, the men, the portal opened up the day after the round of 32. Same thing with the women. Men on Monday, women on Tuesday. Why can't they just do the day after the national championship game when the season ends, next season begins, then you open up the portal. All teams have completed play. All bets are off.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
All right, we got a good one going on right now. Cal Irvine awaits, obviously, as we talked about earlier. They survived. They were down most of the night, but they took over in the second half as the game went on. I can tell you, man, we talked about it at the time, and it was like, oh, West Virginia's crying, and Indiana's crying, and all these teams are crying about not getting into the NCAA tournament. I was like, UC Irvine are better than all you guys. Like, and you guys are all bitching, but nobody feels sorry for UC Irvine. UC Irvine are like 31-6 now on the season type of deal. They're a good basketball team. North Texas are a good team too. And UC Irvine survived. They were up kind of like 69-60 type of thing. I know the final was 69-67, but North Texas hit like a 3 at the buzzer that didn't matter because they were down 5 type of deal. But this one's super close too. 74-73 right now for Chattanooga. Loyola Chicago with the ball with a minute and 10 seconds left in the basketball game. We'll keep our eye on this. We got Mo Khan ready to step up and in. And Loyola Chicago miss little jumper. I'm going to get screwed with a total here because I got an in-game over 154.5, but it's too close. They're not going to foul. I need like late fouls here. I'm better off if Chattanooga actually scores with 50 seconds left. They get up by 3, and it forces Chicago to pick up the pace, but they're playing this thing out right now. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Oh, boy. NIT semifinal on the line here. This kid wants the 3 ball. Whoa, Chattanooga drills the 3.
Oh, yeah,
that's big time. Whoa, that a moccasin. The mocks. Now these guys are up 77-73. That actually helps me a little bit with the fouls because now they got to go down and score, and if they don't, they're going to foul. They're going to foul either like. So we'll see how this plays out. All right, we got Mo Khan in the house here, ready to step up. And Mo, good to see you. How you doing tonight?
I am well. Half fans are thinking Stanley Cup now, Gabe, after that big win over Florida tonight.
Stanley Cup.
Yeah, start booking. Start the parade on St. Catherine. Start it on Atwater, and you go all the way to Papineau, right, all the way down the street. I actually bought in they could beat the Lightning at that time. I'm like, I don't know, maybe they're going to catch magic in a bottle here. But yeah, big win for the Canadians tonight. We'll get to that in a moment. So 77-73, Chattanooga, 35 seconds left. Loyola Chicago with the ball, and there's just a quick timeout right now. But we got a best of X, and baseball season is here, and this is a great one. It's pretty big news, actually, for us here at SportsGrid, that we now have Major League Baseball rights. As you see, like, we can't play highlights of a lot of sports, but we're able to play Major League Baseball highlights now. I use my connections with the Toronto Blue Jays to make it happen. So now we can start showing clips of Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and company. Let's roll this, Greg. There's Mini Vlad. Look at this kid. He's just like Vlad. Look at him. He's like Vlad Guerrero. Look at this kid.
This kid rocks.
Go.
Oh, that's so good. Oh,
Look at someone says baseball history. Vlad Guerrero's mini me. This kid's the best, man. Look at this kid run down the baseline. I love him stick his chest. He can go, though. Look at he's bringing it on the second. Look, he ain't playing around. Look.
And he swings like Vlad Jr. as well.
Yeah, he looks like the little Vlad. Look at this guy.
He really does. Wow, that's amazing.
That's just too good. So keep it up, Vlad Jr. You're on the way here. Mini Vlad. 1-0 for the Atlanta Braves. Dodgers coming up here in the 6th inning. Dustin May hasn't pitched since May 2023, basically 2 years. And dude just went 5 innings of 1-hit baseball. Be worried, everybody. Oh, yeah, and by the way, the LA Dodgers have ordered the torpedo bats, just for the record. They're on the way. So if you didn't think the Dodgers are scary enough, now they're going to be using cricket paddles as a baseball bat. So the Dodgers are going with the torpedo bat as well. The Dodgers have ordered them. So, Mo, a lot of stuff to get to. I just had Rick Saratel on from the NFL Draft Bible and allaccessfootball.com. He does a weekly show with Brian Baldinger breaking down the draft as well. I'll ask you about the Raiders, Ashton Genty. And I saw the post tonight. The new GM of the Raiders said that his kid told him, I'm going to leave you and you're not going to be my dad anymore if you don't draft Ashton Genty. The fact that he's saying this publicly, I'm like, wow. So what's the deal with this? So they're going to take Ashton Genty. His prop, Mo, is over under 9.5 with Ashton Genty. Do you think Ashton Genty is going to go to your Las Vegas Raiders, Mo?
I mean, if you're talking about the mocks and all that, then yes, he is, right? But I think the Raiders have to look at it from this perspective. No one's going to trade up for Genty. So they're at a comfortable position to say whoever falls to us at 6 is going to be a value pick because Gabe and Cam, we've spoken about this before. There's always a team that overvalues someone in the top 5 and takes him off the board. Remember in 2014, Blake Bortles went to the Jaguars over Khalil Mack, right? So who's going to overvalue someone in the top 5? And it's going to be fascinating to see if Abdul Carter drops down. And I think for the Raiders right now, you're in a great position because someone's going to drop to you, whether it's Mason Graham, whether it is Ashton Genty, or someone else that fits your profile. And if they get Ashton Genty, that makes their offense and their ground game much more dynamic than where it was, say, last year when they had like 25 running backs carrying the rock for them under Antonio Pearson, that offensive line that they had before.
We'll see how they draft. Are they going to draft for the future, or are they going to draft that they have a 74-year-old coach? Right? That is going to say, all right. Now. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying, right? You didn't bring in Geno Smith to, like, say, you know what, yeah, we're building. So I think they want to win football games now. They need a bell cow back, right? You know, Marshawn Lynch was his guy. Reggie Bush was his guy. He's had star running backs. Pete Carroll likes a star running back. It seems to make a lot of sense. And/or a lot of people, the 9.5, people think he could end up with the Bears, but you know, I don't think the Saints do it. So what do you think, Mo? Over under 9.5 for Ashton Jeanty?
I think it's going to be under that. I think he goes in the top 8, somewhere in there. I still know where, but someone's going to take him. Maybe Jacksonville pulls off the same Bortles stunt that he did 11 years ago with Bortles going to him at number 4.
Where do you say Jeanty gets drafted to?
He goes to the Raiders.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid. You studied the stats. You had the perfect bracket until your upsets turned into regrets. SportsGrid rides the highs and lows of every buzzer beater, bracket buster, and Cinderella story.
The Big Ten Freshman of the Year!
Our team brings you sharp insights, real-time reactions, and all the madness. Only on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this once? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
If you look at how the men and women did it, the men, the portal opened up the day after the round of 32. Same thing with the women. Men on Monday, women on Tuesday. Why can't they just do the day after the national championship game when the season ends, next season begins, then you open up the portal. All teams have completed play. All bets are off.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
Let's roll. This is SportsRage. I am Morency. So we talked about Dustin May making his first start since May 2023. Not easy to come back from that when you're a pitcher. He goes 5 innings. He only gives up 1 hit. He leaves the game down 1-0. Chris Sale has been unbelievable tonight as well. That's why we bet the under 7.5 for this baseball game tonight. Or actually 8. I got an 8 at -140. Mookie Betts. I talked about him the other night. Mookie Betts, like, this guy's unbelievable. Like, there's a hot take, but Mo, I brought it up. Like, he weighs like 160 pounds right now. It's amazing. He still hits home runs. Like, you know what I mean? He lost 25 pounds. He said the other, like, his first day, when he played the opening day back in LA, he was at 154. He got it up to 160 over the weekend, he said. Basically, guys, he's eating. You're like this, Cam. He's eating during the games even. Because he's eating, they have him on this thing. He's eating all day, Mo. But then when he's playing, he's going to lose the weight again. So they have him eating in the dugout. Like,
Amazing.
he's talking about like he's literally going into the clubhouse in between innings, and they got him stuffing his face so he doesn't lose the weight of the game that he got back. And he keeps on hitting home runs, Cam. Like, the guy's unbelievable. Like, he can weigh 155 pounds. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's like when we first started body checking in hockey, our coach is like, drink cream. I'm like, what? He goes, drink cream like it's milk. I'm like, what are you doing? Just get fatter, get bigger. I'm like, okay. Well, they start plowing guys. Anyway, Mookie Betts is unbelievable. Gabe, you said it. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I saw him in that uniform. He looked like a string bean. You're right. Like, the uniform's all like bulky and whatever, and it doesn't matter. This is the thing about the Dodgers too. If May's coming back and throwing like that, like you can't score one run against the Dodgers. Like, it's just like you're gonna have to score like 6-7 runs like to even be in
They
games
don't even
with these
have
guys.
Freddie. They don't even have Freddie
crazy.
Freeman. Freddie Freeman's only played in 2 games this year. All right, Mo, we're up against it tonight, man. The show's flown by. What do you think of the Final Four, Mo? Auburn, Florida. Who you taking? Who you got?
I like, my pick is still alive. Florida, Houston in the Final Four. I'm still sticking with those 2 to get through.
You're sticking to your guns, huh? You're not concerned about Duke and how good Duke are right now? And I like this Houston team, too. I actually have Houston winning it all in my bracket, and I got a piece of Houston future, too, but I think it's the end of the line for them against Duke, personally.
Remember last year, they broke down physically, right? And they're just a tough defending team. If they can defend well and get the three-point shot going in their favor, they got a chance to beat Duke at their own game in terms of this kind of making it a little bit of a slugfest, and then also trying to go a little bit run and gun to try to launch this whole game together to win it over the Blue Devils.
What was the score last year off the top of my head? It was like 54-50 or something like that, huh?
It was some slugfest, slow burn.
It was really low scoring. Yeah, it. That's the thing. When we saw that, though, Houston have these lulls, man, where they don't score for like 5, 6, 7 minutes. And I just think, Duke are a lot more physical this year than they were last year. What a great, great matchup. So you got Florida advancing. You got the upset, just like Paul Bovey, who's a sharp handicapper, was with us earlier. Paul says he likes the Houston Cougars to pull off the upset as well. He likes the points, but he says he thinks they can win. And then the championship game, Mo, Houston versus Florida. I would take Houston against Florida if that comes down to that.
Still thinking of Florida. They got their scare from Tech, right? And they pulled through. You think about it, Tech didn't miss those free throws on the front end. They win that game over Florida, right? We're talking Auburn, Texas Tech at that point. But I think Florida had their moment, and now they're locked into perhaps go on this run and win on Saturday, the next Monday night.
For the record, point spreads for the potential championship matchups. Duke Blue Devils would be 5.5-point favorites over the Auburn Tigers. Duke would be 4.5-point favorites over the Florida Gators. The Florida Gators would be 1.5-point favorites over the Houston Cougars. And the Houston Cougars would be 1.5-point favorites over the Auburn Tigers. Those are bettable lines that are up right now. Mo, you've been skeptical. You're not a Kool-Aid drinker automatically at the Montreal Canadiens. Earlier this season, when we were getting excited, you said slow it down. So that's why you're not on the TSN radio in Montreal hosting Canadian shows. You're not positive enough, Mo.
They banned me from Auburn a couple years
You got to be
ago.
saying we're going to the Cup, Rookie of the Year, like everything's falling in place for Montreal. But hey, they own the Panthers for whatever reason. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, they won 4 straight against them this year. And I said if they play Florida in the playoffs, they would probably beat them in 7, I think, if they got the Panthers in the first round.
Wow. I wouldn't want to have to play the Canadians in the playoffs. It's one of the arenas that you do get caught up in it, and it's a special place. Like we saw, like when they made it to the Cup and they beat Cam's Leafs. That's what I want to see. Leafs Canadians.
Another Leaf disappointment.
Go Dodgers. Other than that, you're on your own later.